of all, thanks to Last, and of course the GDL group for giving me and my team that sadly couldn't join me today, but they asked me to give you a shout out. Dennis, Max, thank you so much for working on this with me. And this is the Switching Village game presentation. Real quick, I prepared this because I saw so many new people. At first, this was just gonna be like an update presentation, but there's some people that I've never seen before. So, real quick, I'm Diego. I usually go by Shay on the Discord of GDL. You usually can recognize me because I'm the guy that wakes up at like 3 p.m. every single day and still says morning. I study artificial intelligence at JKU. I'm a master's candidate, and I moved to Linz almost a year ago. It's gonna be a year ago in 2 days, actually. And I play way too much League of Legends and roguelikes. And yeah, basically, how did this project came to be? At JKU, I decided to take a little bit of a break from just taking machine learning courses, which are exhausting after a while. And I took a game development course that is like organized by the Institute of Computer Graphics. And as a part of the course, we have to present a project at the end of the semester. The end of the semester is now, so I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the process. I'm not gonna go through the whole design of the game. Well, I'm gonna really quickly go through the design of the game, but don't worry, it's not gonna be a super in detail thing of everything we did. But this is how it all started. This was like an exercise in the second class on what we wanted to do. And you can see all the ideas that me and my friends came up with. Like, we wanted to make a survival mode video game. We wanted to make it pixel art. We came up with all of the different games that inspired us, what our mechanic going to be, and from there we basically came with a concept statement. And this concept statement has actually stayed fairly consistent through the development of the game. What is Switching Village? It's a survival mode game with type and mechanics in which the player attempts to escape an eerie village by fighting waves of enemies. This is all of the work we had to go through it. We had to present the formal elements to the teacher, every single dynamic element that we were gonna go through, how the dynamic elements were going to interact. That's why I didn't want to go through all of them because it's a lot of information and I already presented them before. But these are the games that inspired me from the beginning. I recently purchased, 6 months ago, I purchased Vampire Survivors and I had a great time. I've always been a big fan of Hades, probably my favorite roguelike after the Binding of Isaac. Enter the Gungeon was a nice roguelike to me, although not my favorite by far, and The Exorcist was actually one of the main inspirations for our mechanics. And Risk of Rain for something you'll see later. But basically, we started getting questions right away from the teacher, like if you're developing a roguelike, how do you want to keep a decent challenge? What decisions will the player face? What will be your artistic scope? All of this is something we planned from the beginning, how to keep the player engaged. And just like that, we started developing. After a month of classes, we became familiar enough with Unity. I didn't have any experience with Unity at all, but we started working on this little developer level. We started collecting assets. Thank you so much to Kini that basically provided the whole artistic side of our game. We started playing with GitHub repositories that also helped us with like pathfinding in 2D. We developed the controls, items, weapons, then how to increase the stats, we then implemented enemies, and this is sort of where I left everyone on November. Actually, my presentation was sort of gonna begin here, but again, so many new people, I'm really happy for that. But yeah, I actually presented this sort of prototype like on November, I think it was. And I received so many good feedback from you guys, and we actually took some of those ideas and tried to include it in the final game. So thank you to all of us that were in November with me. And we had a feedback session, and this is something that if you're developing a game might be helpful. This is something that we did on class, and it was basically trying each other's games, and every single one of these is a playtesting session of about 10 minutes. We got so many different ideas from many different people. It was encouraging and demoralizing at first because we came into the class with like, okay, the game is like 90% ready, like 5 things to fix and we're done. And like, all of this is from a single class. So yeah, we basically were like, okay, we're not ready at all to present. But after every playtesting session, we just came up with what was everyone going to work in. We what has been done since that presentation? We have our final level ready, our hub level ready that was inspired on the like Enter the Gaño having a hub level. We implemented combat, we implemented different weapons, different enemies. I even took a little bit of fun trying to implement vocabulary in a like programmatic fashion instead of just writing by hand every single file for the dialogue. I work on design. I particularly work a lot on on the sound design, and it was particularly fun because it was the only sort of thing that was not a single asset pack. It was actually looking for many different asset packs and try to keep it consistent. And I actually had a great time with it. My friends and I worked on the UI. Huge shout out to Dennis because he was one of the main reasons the game looks like so nice. I think at least the HUD. And yeah, this is what each of us did in these 6 months. I worked on the sound and the vocabulary most. Dennis was the UI and menu scenes, and Max, thank you so much for working on the level design and the combat so much. And all of us worked on writing, bug fixing, guidance, and the balancing of the game, or the lack of it, because that's something we're still working on to this day. But yeah, these are some gifts of what we have right now. This was actually what we were supposed to present on the last class until they told us we actually didn't have to have a presentation for the last class. So I might as well use it now. These are some of the things you can do on the game, but I'm actually gonna thank the previous presentation because I actually did come prepared with a trailer. Um, but yeah, before I go further, I just want to thank again my friends, and this is the Switching Village trailer that we prepared for class. It's a 3-minute trailer, and I hope you enjoy it. We have audio on the computer as well? Okay. I think it's on the. Well, but can you hear or should I put the audio?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. Sorry for that. Oh, no, that's not what. I.
What satanic ritual was that?
yeah, that has been that has been basically our life for the last 6 months. And what now? Um, the class is already over. Well, we still have to push the final version of the game to itch, which will be on Tuesday. So you can find the game online on Tuesday at the latest. We just have to finish some set visualization and player guidance on the UI details. Of course, the game will be completely free. And after publishing, if we keep working on it, which I sure hope we do, although Dennis is not gonna be physically present with us because he's going back to Germany, we still want to work on actually adding items to the game rather than just weapon variations. We want to add like some variety to enemies as well, because right now they sort of work as sort of bullet sponges with different stats, and we want, of course, to have more flavor in terms of characters and story. Then we want to collect feedback, of course, from you guys, and of course, the natural progress is microtransactions, loot boxes, and esports. Ever emergent? No, just kidding. Constantly balancing and improving the game for the future. That being said, that has been our work again for the last 6 months. This has been a project by me, Dennis Tiefling, and Maximilian Artofer, and thank you so much for being with me on the ride to make Switching Village. Thank you very much. Just to finish, since we of course are gonna hang out a little bit afterwards, I hope. The game is playable on my laptop, so although I forgot my keyboard, it's still, like I did the first time that I brought it. If anyone wants to try the build that we have of the game right now, anyone can try it. And that's it. If anyone has any questions, suggestions, or want to know more about how we did this, please, by all means. Yeah. Okay.
In that case, if there are no questions, thank you, Shay.
No, thanks for giving me the opportunity, man.